I think we're good.
All right.
So, obviously, cheers.
Cheers. This is totally not at 10 a.m. in the morning.
No, this is at 10 p.m., let's say.
Yeah. Or or what was it, like 1 a.m. in the East Coast?
Yeah, it could be whenever you're listening to this, guys. You can just assume that we're having drinks then.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, 5 a.m., 5 p.m., it don't matter. Time is cyclical, so just to pretend that we're having these beers at an appropriate time.
Yes, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, make sure you put your mouth on that microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a rookie at this.
Obviously, yes. So it's been a long time in the making, guys. I've been trying to get this guest for 24 years, even way before I had a podcast or even knew what a podcast was. I was like, man, I need to talk to this guy eventually.
Here I am.
In a recording setting, yes. I'm talking with my cousin from another mother, because that would be weird and it wouldn't be cousins anymore. But his name is Austin Chaney.
In the flesh.
Yeah, and of course, what's it like being cousins? You know, are you cool with it?
Well, I didn't know I had a cousin until like 5 minutes before I left the plane. My dad just left me a text. He's like, "Oh, why don't you check your cousin Daryl in Long Beach?" I'm like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
I have a cousin.
What? This is amazing.
Yes. So you are from South Carolina.
Right now,
and,
yes.
Yeah, you hail from that area. You were originally born here, though, in L.A.
Yes.
And then you guys moved out. He's my cousin from my uncle's side, so he's my uncle's son. That's how family works, I guess.
That's the way they make the rules.
We share a gene or two, I think, on some sort of level.
Well, I mean, I'm a 32, 34. I don't know if you wear the same size as me.
Nope. Yeah, I share one pant leg of his. Yeah, I could probably fit one leg in it. I used to wear 34, 32s, probably when I was 4.
I mean, I was told I was a big baby, but
Yeah. Well, you are a tall dude. You are what, 6'3"?
6'4".
Oh, sorry. Whoa.
There's a big difference.
There's a whole extra inch difference.
It makes a lot of difference in many other areas.
Do you think more people care about like being mistook for 6'3" instead of 6'4" versus like 4'3" and 4'4"?
Well,
I feel like the little people are a little bit more like, no, it's 4'4", god damn it.
Well, I honestly I do think that is true because I mean the inches are very short to come by for them. So any inch they can get, they're going to take.
Of course.
For us, we're just tall.
You're just giving inches away. You're just I don't need this inch. It could be 6'2" for all I care.
I do think that the inch is the most important when you're 5'11" or if you're 6 foot. Because there's a lot of people I know they don't even like consider people if their height starts with a 5, which.
I love those dudes that say that they're 5'12". And when I say love, I mean I secretly want to punch them in the face.
I mean, that's just being 6 foot and mocking all the other people that are under 6 feet.
You're being a nerd when you don't have to be a nerd. It's like you're choosing to be a nerd right now.
That is rare
these
days.
Sometimes I think that's what being a nerd is. It's just like being cool. It's like you are who you are, and you're just going to be that person. In that way, obviously you're a nerd because that's just who you are.
The nerd life. I didn't choose the nerd life. The nerd life chose me.
Exactly. But when you choose to be nerdy or when you choose to be a certain thing, that's when people are like, stop trying, bro.
It should come natural, you know?
Yeah, you should.
The nerd gene develops over time, and then it reaches that peak when you reach middle school, and then you separate the nerds from the cool people.
It's like, don't try to wear socks with sandals. Just feel it.
It's very comfortable.
Put them on when you feel like it's natural, not when it's like, don't force yourself to do it. Do you feel like you're a huge nerd?
Well, like, I never got into, like, Dungeons & Dragons or, like...
Yeah, there's so many different avenues of nerddom.
Yeah, it's very weird. I would consider I'm, like, a sports nerd, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because I follow all types of sports. I know the stats and the numbers of players.
Do you play fantasy?
I did play fantasy football. The problem is that I ended up wearing a pair of leopard Zuma pants in a construction site. for a day because of fantasy football.
That was your because there's always these weird bets that go along with these fantasy teams.
The really sad thing was it was my idea
Yeah.
to have a prize, if you
Right.
want to call it, for the loser.
Right.
And I am the one being the one that lost.
That's poetic. That's definitely poetic. Well, it wasn't like too embarrassing. I mean, did the Zuma pants at least make your butt look nice?
they were very comfortable.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And they decorated as well. You know, me going to Clemson. They put a South Carolina patch, a Georgia Bulldog patch.
Nice.
They wrote Boomer Sooner on the butt because we were playing Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. And it was really great because they had people throughout the plant call my supervisor and have me go around and pick up like a wrench or something so everyone in the plant could see what I look like.
Yep, sounds like they're all secretly gay.
Yeah, that's what I told myself to make myself feel better.
But you could definitely feel good about yourself after you take your, you probably had a selfie or two in those, right?
They took pictures of me,
Yeah.
and then they posted that picture like in the big meetings and TVs throughout everywhere.
Awesome.
So I left a permanent mark in that area.
Yeah, literally.
Literally.
I feel like, that could be now considered a hate crime, probably.
With this day and age, I probably could
If you
play it off.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have a lot of sleepless nights because of this? Have you had you had to quit your job because you had too much mental anguish over your Zuma pants?
Well, it was when I was interning. So I was already 2 weeks away from getting kicked out.
Even worse.
Even worse.
They're making their interns wear Zumba pants?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yes, you leave in a walk of shame out the door.
Stand-up comedy, open mics, interviews, and a podcast too. It's just a day in the life for Darryl Williams. Just a day in the life. Whose life? This comic's life.
Hello and welcome to This Comics Life. This is me, your host, D. Williams, a.k.a. Darryl Williams, a.k.a. Dumbass, a.k.a. Dude that's hanging out with his cousin whoop, whoop, from the East Coast and from other parts unknown. I am speaking with, again, Austin Chaney.
What's up, people?
Chaney is the maiden name to my mother, as well as here's her social security number. No, but we are related by... I guess, a couple marriages, twice removed, who knows?
We have the same grandfather.
Yeah, we do. And also, my mom is his aunt, and his dad is my uncle. So, that's how we know each other, but we haven't seen each other in quite a few years.
It's been way too long. We were both born in the Southern California area.
Yep.
And I lived in the Woodland Hills, San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
Until I was 10 and moved out in 2004, where I moved to Miami.
Miami. South Beach, bringing the heat.
Miami. Yep, and then you just crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
In Miami. The first thing you did was buy a banana hammock.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you just got a quick tan on.
Yeah.
And then it was all clean sailing from then on.
Yeah, I mean, pina coladas every day,
At school.
At school. Yeah, they didn't have, like, orange juice boxes. They had pina coladas in the cafeteria line.
Mm-hmm. And recess was, like, conga lines, and it was,
Beach volleyball, tan by the beach, tan at the pool.
Clothing optional recesses.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you had to wear white. That was the rule.
It was classy,
Oh, yeah, sophisticated.
Mm-hmm. And every kid looked like, George Hamilton. Circa 1973. Yeah, like right off of Love Boat. He was just like...
Listen to me, little man. I don't even know who you are, but you show up here again and I'll have your head blown off. I promise you that.
So much fun in 2 years, and then we moved to the Charlotte area, where we acclimated to the South for 10 years, and I went to the greatest school in the country, Clemson University.
Clemson, yeah.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. And then you got a degree in mechanical engineering.
Yes, I had to love math, and math did not love me.
It is a cruel mistress.
It is.
That bitch math. I fucking hate math, but I also hate that my teacher was right when she said that you're going to be using this a lot in your jobs. And I was like, what do you know? I'm going to be an artist. I'm going to tell jokes for a living. She's like, yeah, but there will be math in that too.
What? No.
What? Fuck you. I'll show you. And then she was right. I would tell her she was right, but she's dead now, so... Joke's on you, Mrs. Kale.
Oh, gosh. The best way to describe engineering is, like, we did the stupid math with letters and...
Algebra
and the little mini numbers in the corners and the funky symbols. And
yeah.
You know,
They call that nerd math.
Yeah, the math, you sit there and you go, I don't need to know this. I'll never use this again. And most people never will, but I had to.
Yeah. That makes you cooler than most people. Do you rub that in their face? Like, hey, you just, like, write, crazy equations on, like, napkins at bars? And you're like, hey, could you solve this? I can.
Do you know how to do a double integral of multivariable calculus?
Tell me the coefficient of this. And they're like, shut the fuck up and take your beer. Just because you asked me that, it's $2 extra.
I could totally calculate how much alcohol is in this exact beer.
Right?
Gosh. Yeah, and that is why I am totally like Dan Bilzerian with like 20 supermodels in my $1 million mansion right now.
Oh, Dan Bilzerian. What a life.
Oh, the new Hugh Hefner.
Do you think he pays for those ladies, or is it they just want to be there because he's famous and stuff and like obviously looks ripped and whatnot?
Yeah, he obviously like gives them a bunch of free stuff. So I don't think he pays them directly.
It's very indirectly, like with swag and stuff like that. And obviously they're not having to pay to be on the trip itself. Like,
yeah, no,
they're going to all these crazy cool locales and destinations.
Who wouldn't want to take a free trip to Maui and go scuba diving and jet skiing?
And if you had to maybe blow him, so be it.
He's not a bad looking dude.
No, and I'm sure he's definitely packing a huge jet ski.
Yes.
In his pants. Maybe a Sea-Doo.
Or Yamaha.
At least. I mean, we don't have to go name brand.
No, we don't.
Nope.
We're not sponsored by those companies.
Neither is he. But I feel like, it's also one of those weird instances, just like Hugh Hefner, where the ladies don't care that there's like 20 other ladies there.
It's weird.
It's never like, hey, what? You were just making out with this other girl? Well, you're not going to be making out with me. It's like, well, that's fine. You can make out with her as long as you're making out with me sometime.
I think that's their logic. Maybe it's like they hit the jackpot, and it's like, oh, hey, you got accepted too? I got accepted. We're in the zone, girl.
Right, they both made it. It's like being on The Bachelorette.
Yeah.
Or The Bachelor or whatever. Like, they become friends even though they're dating the same dude, theoretically.
It's like the new Pan Am, like, stewardess. Just modern day.
And maybe it's even better if you're one of the girls that isn't having to fuck them. Because you're still getting to be, like, on all the jet skis and doing all the cool stuff.
All you have to do is take pictures with them.
Yeah.
And make other guys jealous.
Yeah. And look good.
Yeah.
But you're not actually... But maybe that's the thing. Maybe those girls are, like, wanting to genuinely have sex with him. So it is like, oh, he didn't have sex with me? Lame.
I'll show him.
I'll get my boobs twice as big. And my hair twice as blonde.
It's such a tough life for him, isn't it?
It is. And he was already, like, crushing life as, like, a pro poker player already. So he was already, like, making millions. I guess that's how he became who he is now.
Yeah, I think I heard he won, like, $5 million in a poker jackpot, and then he just invested in that, and now lives the dream. Lives every, like, 13-year-old's dream.
Do you think, like, though, after, like, the Instagram feed gets turned off, he just secretly cries, like, in his, like, yacht?
I think he cries bullets that he fires out of his gun. He is like the most interesting man in the world.
There has to be a documentary made about him or something like that. Like, there hasn't been a lot of people like doing interviews on him.
No,
he just has this huge social media presence. But what does he do? Like, I'm sure he like, I don't know what, probably promotes like a lot of like those guns and stuff. Or I'm sure like all the guns and stuff that he like shoots.
It's weird.
He's getting sponsored in some way, right?
I mean, I don't see those lame like Instagram posts where he's like advertising a certain product and be like, "Yo, there's a lot of guns I use, but there's nothing better than this."
No, like he doesn't even have to like talk about it. He just needs to be seen holding it or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's what like Instagram is all for. It's like there's so many people that promote or like are sponsors or promoters, but all they do is they just are seen using it or holding it, or they're not even like having to like make a commercial about it.
Yeah, I mean, as a
It's like
single,
the photo itself is a commercial.
yeah. I mean, as a single man, I follow maybe one too many Instagram accounts of supermodels and
Of course.
models, and they just get paid to travel around the world, and all they have to do is wear a certain brand of swimwear or use a certain makeup line or drink a certain tequila, and they're good to go.
Yeah, that's amazing, and that's all you do is that you have photo shoots using these products, and then they just say swipe up if you want to like buy them or whatever.
Yeah.
And I want to do that. Like, I want to have a presence on Instagram of me just holding like weird things like slingshots or Chinese finger cuffs. I don't know. Maybe a slinky. Like, hey, if you want this name brand slinky,
Swipe up.
swipe up. You can buy it. Promo code Daryl.
Promo code dumbass.
Yep. Haven't you gotten your customizable Chinese finger cuff with my name on the side of it? You should get it. I don't know.
Don't get caught up in all the other brands.
Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, so you went to Clemson University out in the beautiful South, and you also were obviously around when they won the championship.
Clemson dethrones and avenges Alabama.
Yes, I was actually fortunate enough to be in downtown Clemson at their most popular bar, Tiger Town Tavern. If anyone goes out to visit, highly recommend it.
Do they have like an ale that's for the school or whatever, like a Clemson ale or something like that?
There is a drink called Clemson Goodnight.
Yeah, what is it?
It's like, gosh, it's probably 12 toxins that will kill me later on, but it's like beer, vodka, maybe a little rum, some pomegranate mixture. It's a
So it's just
concoction.
everything in the bar.
Yes,
Just put it in it.
It makes for a not so good night, but it's a good time.
It's called the good night because it'll put you to sleep.
Yes.
It's almost like, I don't feel like the college atmosphere is needing a drink that makes people black out drunk.
No. Though I've had a few of those instances in college. Nights I like to forget, and I actually do forget.
Right. Yeah, I could see that being problematic during this Me Too phase.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, I was too ugly and too clumsy to actually get with anyone, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Me too. That's our Me Too moment.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. College was, I don't know, I wouldn't say college was a wasteland, but it was definitely maybe not like the movies in the sense of just hooking up all the time with different co-eds.
It was not like Animal House.
No,
unfortunately,
it was not. And I was looking for that all along. I was like, where the fuck is Bluto? Where the fuck is like somebody? Yeah, Otter. Come on, nobody's like that. Nobody's like that. Anybody here? Everybody's just wanting to study and not drink and be cool and like call their parents every day. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of college experience is that?
It's that. I mean, they say you can't be too cool for school, but we all tried very hard to be too cool for school.
But you could definitely not be cool enough for school.
Very true.
And maybe that's the more lesson. Like, if you're not cool enough for school, you should not go to school. No.
Sadly, a lot of people just go to it anyway.
Yeah, well, they have to, you know. What parent doesn't push college onto their kid nowadays?
Probably the baseball parent who has like the next, I guess, Alex Rodriguez or
Yeah, some phenom.
some phenom.
That's like straight out of high school that doesn't have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certain sports where you don't have to go to college first, or you can go straight from high school.
Yeah, it's kind of dwindling now. The NBA was kind of like the first sport, I guess, where like you came out of high school and it was like a big deal.
Yeah, like they're already like signing guys that aren't even out of high school yet. They're like sophomores and they're like already getting like NBA contracts.
Yeah, and it's oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. There's people that are like in middle school and they get like scouted for the pros and things like that. And it's just like they haven't gone through puberty yet.
They don't even have pubes. So why are you giving them a college degree? It's like the Doogie Howser, but with sports.
Exactly.
I think the NFL's like that too now, right? Where they're trying to like go away from college, like you go straight from high school to pro.
It's it like never happens, mainly because like you look at a typical high school senior, they're scrawny like what I am at 24.
Right.
But
right.
you know, they have to go to college to become like, you know, an actual like NFL athlete.
I want to say that there was like this one kid that was being prospected now that was like in the news, and he's already like 6'7", like 300 pounds, and he's like, yeah, like a junior in high school.
Yeah.
And they're already like, come play with us, son. And he's like, I haven't had my balls drop yet.
17-year-old John Cron's sheer size is making him a high school football sensation. The defensive lineman for King High in Riverside, California, towers over his teammates at 7 feet tall. Some even think he could be the tallest football player in the world. And at 440 pounds, he's a force to be reckoned with.
I saw a video, you know, at Alabama's football team. It just looks like a bunch of man children playing against, I guess, kids that are in college. And they had this 15-year-old who was like 6'4", 260 pounds, and like 2% body fat. And it's
just chiseled.
It's like
he's an Adonis. I'm picturing such a sexy man.
He ate his Wheaties every day.
Yeah. And then he just got prospected and picked up.
Well, yeah, he was recruited by Alabama, and he's going to sign on and probably win another 2 national championships for them.
Do you think that players should get paid in the college setting?
I think at times they should, mainly because it's such a commitment. They're always working out and practicing. And
they're making the college, theoretically, a lot of money.
Oh, yeah, they're making the college millions. The biggest issue is, like, you know, you have a basketball program where you have maybe like 5 guys who are carrying the team and doing everything for them.
Right, starters.
And so you would think, okay, maybe they should get paid, but then what do you do with the backups? You know,
right?
They're not doing anything, but now they're getting paid.
I can understand a certain scale, and some might say they're getting a free college, you know, ride. You know, it's obviously they're all on scholarships, or they're all like they're not having to worry about tuition.
Yeah,
which is another, I guess, a way of payment.
Yeah, and you don't know how your pro career is going to be. I mean, you're always one play away from being an insurance salesman.
It's true.
Hi, I'm John Elway, and I want to talk to you about my WYSIWYG.
Whoa, John, you can't talk about your WYSIWYG on TV.
Why not?
Censors will go crazy.
You even know what a WYSIWYG is?
A WYSIWYG? Yeah, WYSIWYG. What is a WYSIWYG?
With John Elway's one low, no haggle price, what you see is what you get. WYSIWYG. It's your price, it's their price, it's everyone's price.
Yeah, that WYSIWYG.
Who you gonna call? John Elway!
Call, click, or come by. Our website is elwaydealers.com.
Which is kind of ironic.
Yeah, I feel like it would be interesting to see if there were more guys like that, where they're like, what was that one guy that was the football player, the Pat Tillman?
Oh, yeah.
Who was a pro football player, but then, like, you know, when 9/11 hit or whatever, he's like, yeah, fuck the NFL, I'm going to go fight or whatever.
I mean, this was before the national anthem protest and all that stuff.
This was before it was cool. And then he gets killed by friendly fire. It was like a Canadian tank or something.
Oh, God. Come on, Canada.
Yeah, Canada, you killed one of our national treasures. Now we're fighting you. I feel like it is weird how, like, we distinguish, like, who the bullet comes from. Like, oh, the bullet came from that guy. It's an accident. If the bullet came from that other guy, then we're gonna be talking.
He's a terrorist.
Yeah, he's a terrorist. We must shoot a bullet towards him now.
Or we must fire like the cannons at him now.
I'm always like, hey, he's dead either way.
I know. There's a lot of like stigmas going around, and it's kind of crazy. You hear like stuff on the news, like a white man calls the cops because a black woman was at the neighborhood pool, even though she lives there. And it's like, are we in 1956?
People are weird. I think that's that they have a lot of time on their hands. You know, I feel like I don't pay attention to a lot of what my neighbors do because I'm doing a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not like just sitting around wondering, hey, it's been a while since my neighbor left his house. What's up with that? What's he doing in there? I bet he's got whores or cooking whores, making meth with whores or something.
There's definitely whores.
Yeah. And I don't get it. It's like, and I hope that's the same thing with me. Like, I hope like there's not a lot of people that are like, what's he doing? There's a lot of people going in there, and I hear them laughing sometimes.
I want to have fun.
What the fuck is that about? I'm going to call the cops because he's having too much fun in there. He's got his microphones, thinks he knows how to talk to people. No, but I don't know. I've had definitely like those nosy neighbors or those just nosy people in my life, like coworkers, that are just like always over your shoulder, and you're like, dude, what the fuck? Like,
just leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Like, just what are you worried about? Like, what are you so like? They spend so much time making sure like I'm doing work when they could be doing work instead. Like,
I know it's so much. It's so crazy. I had a neighbor freshman year in college who, let's just say he kind of lived the Animal House life. He had a lot of friends over.
Cool.
And with the metal thin walls, like he didn't have to be that nosy neighbor. The neighbor you just were given a free ticket.
Yeah. The walls actually amplified the sound.
It was like a free show every night.
Awesome. And what was the shows mainly about? Just parties or just him fucking chicks?
Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, it's just fucking chicks. And I mean, I don't want to be like judging, but he didn't have the greatest of tastes.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Well, obviously, if you're having a different lady every night, you can't be that choosy.
No. And the really funny thing is, like, we would just be playing video games during the day or something like that, and he would walk in like nothing but underwear. I guess he just I guess he left like
humble brag.
Yeah, just a humble brag. Be like, hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
And you're like, we get it. You have a lot of sex with ugly chicks.
Yeah, you take quantity over quality, so that's very clear. I prefer the opposite, but hey, free country, man. You do you.
Yeah, he's living his truth. Let's hope he doesn't have, a lot of little baby truthers running around soon.
Oh gosh, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, I'm sure that guy's living the high life, or drinking a high life, either or.
He probably definitely has a high life in hand.
So, obviously, you've been hanging out here. Yes, you're visiting. We're hanging out. We've been doing a lot of drinking ourselves.
Drinking, beach tanning,
yeah,
jumping in the pool.
We went to the beach. We went to a few bars. In fact, we went to you wanted to specifically go to a bar that your parents met at.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I mean, I was a little wary, but I thought, might as well just know where I came from.
Literally.
Where
your dad came in.
Oh, God, no. Oh, please don't say
It's
that.
okay. I could talk about him because he's my uncle.
Yeah, you
could
talk about him.
Yeah.
He's family too, but he's a little closer family than me.
Yeah, in a way.
Oh.
But, okay, so it's interesting because this was obviously, in the early 90s because this was before Tinder. This was before all the apps and shit like that. So the only way you obviously did meet somebody was at a bar.
It was the original social dating app area.
Yeah. I always wish I could have met like I talk about it like in like oh, I can't do it now, but in the day I wish I could. No, but I've never really met a lady at a bar, and nothing long term at least.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time I like photobombed a bunch of girls as like selfie.
Nice.
And they just caught onto it, and we had a good conversation. It was a good time.
And then one of the ladies was like, "You need to take a selfie at my place."
Oh. Yeah, I wish she said that.
But no.
I ended up giving a drive home. So
wah.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. It's like she's like, "You're super nice. Drive me home."
Yeah. Can I take advantage of you being nice? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can I take advantage of you of being a dummy?
Nope.
No,
you can't
because that's illegal.
Yes, it is. Gosh darn it, women! Why can't you be cooler?
But no, you do meet that cool woman, and you're just like, wait a second, what's the catch? This isn't right.
Yeah. Are you sure you want to not have me just take you home? That's weird.
We're having too good of a conversation. I don't have to like be funny. I just am funny.
And you keep touching me for some reason. What the hell?
What crack are you on?
Yep. Sometimes you can put the spell on the ladies. I mean, you're a good-looking guy, so I'm sure it's not hard to have ladies at least smile at you.
I appreciate the compliment. Sadly, I get that compliment from too many guys than girls. or if it is from girls, it's like older women. So,
right. They pinch your cheek.
No, they don't. So cute. Oh, gosh, no.
So you also are here you were here for what, a week and a half, 2 weeks?
I've been here for a week. Just been spending a couple days with like old friends and family along the way. I'm actually going to be on a plane tonight to see your mom, which will be a fun time. Yeah, it's family.
Yeah.
That's not. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. That's totally weird.
Hey, is that? Oh yeah, it's not an insult. That's the truth.
That's the actual truth.
I feel like that's never going away, right? Your mom, or that's what she said.
Oh no, that's imprinted. It's like the high five. That'll never go out of style. Thank you, Burt Reynolds.
Like people for 100 years from now will still be like, "That's what she said," and they're like, "Who are she's?" Oh right. Well, back in the day, there used to be women.
There used to be two genders.
Yeah, and they used to say when somebody would say something inappropriate, afterwards they'd go, "That's what she said." Sally said, "She's Thor's by the Thethor." But no, she, and I feel like that is here to stay forever. Same with getting jiggy with it.
I mean, I'm a little bit younger than you. I haven't heard "get jiggy with it" since you probably were my age.
Hey, that went away? Oh, lame. I've been using that phrase forever. That and where's the beef?
Oh gosh, I don't even know like what. I know it was from a Wendy's commercial, but I never saw "Where's the Beef" commercial.
Yeah, they would be talking about all the competitors having all this like small burgers.
That is an awfully big bun.
There were bigger burgers, so there would be this lady that would just yell out, "Where's the beef?"
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef? I don't think there's anybody back there.
You want something better. You're Wendy's kind of people.
Well, you remember, Can You Hear Me Now?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh my God. Never. I don't want to. Some spokesmen, you're like, that's quaint, that's cool. Other spokesmen, you're like, that's fucking annoying.
Well, I mean, my dad, your uncle, he worked in advertising for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
And the one thing he always told me was, it's not the fun commercials or funny commercials you remember. It's the stupid ones.
Mm-hmm. And now they want even more stupid. They want them to be more just zany, especially like Super Bowl commercials and whatnot.
Oh gosh.
It's almost like there's a conspiracy to have it be banned or have it be so like outrageous that they have to like show it on the news channels now. And so it's like, did you guys see this commercial? And it's like, yeah, we did, but we don't have to also see it on the news too.
And then it's like all over social media.
Mm-hmm,
I mean, it's great promotion.
Of course. Like advertisers, they have to do those things now. Like there's so many different ads. Like that one ad that's for the Squatty Potty. It's got like some like unicorn like shitting out rainbows.
Squatty Potty?
Yeah, you don't know about the Squatty Potty?
I've never heard of the Squatty
Potty. It's that like stool that like helps you poop.
Oh, is there like a funny jingle to it?
I don't know, but we can make one.
Squatty Potty.
Get your poop out of your body.
Make it come out like shoddy.
Yeah. It totally needs a jingle.
We're available advertising companies. we will take interviews for possible.
Yeah, only serious inquiries only.
Yes, we need a 401k.
Yeah,
I need my student loans paid off for.
I do definitely need half up front before we make one note. I need a half up front.
I need commission for everything.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Every time it plays, I need a 10 cents. I feel like, there's so many different commercials out there that are dumb as fuck.
There are some good ones, though.
I'm slowly getting away from commercials because most of the TV I watch now are just streaming services.
Same here.
So they don't really have commercials because I pay the $2 extra for no commercials.
You're
Hulu,
lucky.
I'm balling.
Oh, the streaming services I use, sometimes they'll just use the same 2 commercials the entire time.
Yep.
It's the worst. I remember Mitsubishi had like a commercial where they had a guy on a violin going off, and it's just like, I am so sick of violins.
Yep. Like, if I saw this once, I probably would have bought a Suzuki. But now that I've seen it 80 times, I hate Suzuki.
I want to bash that Suzuki with a violin.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of streaming services, they don't really have the base of advertisers just wanting to advertise with them. So then now it's like, well, we only have 5 people. I guess we're only playing those 5 ads over and over and over.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I think that's the future of television, is where like you just pick which channels you want to watch, and then you just pay a simple monthly charge.
But I pay like Hulu. I have no ads on because it's like literally $2 extra a month.
Awesome.
And then I'll pay that $2 extra to save, 2 or 3 minutes out of every show.
You also save your sanity though.
Of course, because I don't watch those 5 commercials over and over. And also, HBO, Netflix, those are all commercial free. And I also pay for YouTube. It used to be called YouTube Red, but now it's called YouTube Premium.
Yeah, I think a lot of people mistakenly typed RedTube, and that took them down the dark path.
They made a mistake.
Oops.
So, but that's commercial free too. And how many times have you watched a commercial before a YouTube clip, and the commercial is longer than the YouTube clip?
Or the worst is when the advertisement is buffering.
Yeah.
And it's you can't even watch the video. You have to wait another 5 minutes for the commercial to buffer and play, and then you wait for the video to buffer and play. It's the worst. I thought that
there was a conspiracy once because they would play the ad and then the video would start, but then the video wouldn't load for some reason. Oh, God. So then you'd have to reload the page, but then of course you would have to see the ad again, and then of course the video wouldn't load. So now it's I haven't watched the video once, but now I've watched 2 ads to try to get to that fucking video.
I have a conspiracy theory. I think all those computer programmers that we made fun of in school are trying to get back at us.
Yeah.
And so they're
one advertisement at a time.
You'll never see the video. We'll just make you watch the same ad over and over again.
That's what I mean. It's how come the ad is always the one that is very easy to load, never fails, never bugs out, but the video itself, that's the one that's that's hit and miss. You might not be able to see it.
Well, why do we drive on a parkway and park on a driveway?
It's true. We're fucking dumb.
These are the mysteries of the universe.
Yep. Okay, what else? Oh, yeah. Well, I guess we should talk about comedy a little bit. Obviously, you're not a stand-up by any means.
I've been known to be funny, whether I try to or not.
Right. You're the inadvertently funny guy.
Yeah. I kind of fear for my future children because of all the dad jokes that I already give out to my friends. So, naturally, when I become my dad's age, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah, of course. But it's cool to be a dad now. There's so many things that are glorified. Dad jokes, dad bods, all that.
It's the golden age of dadhood.
Mm-hmm. I always like when people say that I have a dad bod because it makes me feel like, oh, cool. You think I could get a girl pregnant? That's amazing.
You're so kind.
Yeah. What girl do you think I could get pregnant? Do you have any in mind?
Just point me in the right direction.
Yeah, please help me. I need a reason why this body exists on me.
Oh my God. There's sometimes I've thought about doing an open mic night. Mm-hmm. Then I get the stage fright.
That's a big problem.
They always tell you to imagine the audience in their underwear to make you feel more comfortable, and then you just imagine yourself in underwear, and you're like, wait a second, this isn't right.
Yeah, I talked about it famously on my first episode because I thought about that same thing. I had an original premise about why is it that you should be thinking about these people in your underwear? That doesn't make you less nervous. That just makes you in my opinion, more nervous because why are all these people watching me in their underwear?
What if there's an attractive girl who's in the audience and you imagine her in her underwear? Now you gotta be even more impressive for her.
Yep. And they're all very confident sitting in their underwear, and it's why is this whole audience just sitting in their underwear?
I wish I had that confidence.
I remember also getting so nervous one time on stage that I was trying to tell that joke or just make that observation, but instead I asked a girl what color her underwear was.
Smooth.
Yeah.
That's the number one go-to pickup line now.
Mm-hmm. Miss, what color is your underwear?
If I can guess the color of your underwear, then I get to see that underwear.
Nice, yeah. I could do that, and that's not creepy at all.
I'd like to play a game.
And should I play it like a game show host? Hey guys, what's the color of your underwear?
Our first contestant.
She hails from Sunset Beach, and she's 34. Her name is Carol. Carol, what is the color of your underwear?
I'm not wearing any underwear.
Good call. I'll call that color nude.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, miss, what color is your underwear?
the fuck are you talking about, man?
See, that's the thing. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do the game show version of it. But the way I did it, though, was in that creepy way where she was like, I guess I'll tell you. But, I don't really want to. And then, of course, like, she did say that they were black, so I was like, well, at least, like, your boyfriend's going to get laid later. That's cool.
That's a great job, yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Girls don't wear black underwear unless they're getting laid that night, right?
I always love the joke of, like, if you get into bed with a woman and you see her taking off her clothes and her underwear her bra is, like, matching her panties, it's like, it was not you who made the decision of whether or not you're getting laid tonight. It was her.
Yes. So maybe if it was the separate colors, and clearly she wasn't like expecting to, then it was your choice.
Then you did a good job.
Convinced it.
I mean, you should just apply to be a salesman.
I know. You should put that on your resume as I know how to get laid.
I can guess the color of women's underwear.
Mm-hmm. And it's 9 times out of 10 completely inaccurate.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah, totally. There's probably a few comedy clubs, right, in that area?
Oh yeah, Greenville, where I live now, it's a growing town.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have all these young families with, like, the stereotypical dad and mom with 2 kids and a golden retriever dog, and everything is like, sunshine and lollipops. But we do have a few comedy places that there's open mic nights, some good shows.
Who are some of your, like, guys that you would think are really funny?
The first person I was introduced to that maybe kind of influenced my sense of humor was George Carlin.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I mean, that probably explains a lot about my raunchy humor.
He's one of the greatest.
He's an all-time great. Rest in peace.
Here's another one of these civic customs. Swearing on the Bible. You understand that shit? They tell you to raise your right hand, place your left hand on the Bible. Does this stuff really matter? Which hand? Does God really give a fuck about details like this? Suppose you put your right hand on the Bible, you raise your left hand. Would that count? Or would God say, sorry, wrong hand, try again? And why does one hand have to be raised? What is the magic in this gesture? This seems like some sort of a primitive voodoo mojo shtick. Why not put your left hand on the Bible, let your right hand hang down by your side? It's more natural. Or put it in your pocket. Remember what your mother used to say? Don't put your hands in your pockets. Does she know something we don't know? Is this hand shit really important? Well, let's get back to the Bible, America's favorite national theatrical prop. Suppose the Bible they hand you to swear on is upside down, or backward, or both. And you swear to tell the truth on an upside-down, backward Bible. Would that count? Suppose the Bible they hand you is an old Bible and half the pages are missing. Suppose all they have is a Chinese Bible in an American court. Or a Braille Bible and you're not blind. Suppose they hand you an upside-down, backward Chinese Braille Bible with half the pages missing.
Gosh, I really like the late night comedy. I have a lot of respect for Trevor Noah.
Good evening, everyone. Or as the French say, good evening. No, it's bonjour, bienvenue. Yes. I'm learning. I'm trying to practice my French. I'm not going to lie, Montreal probably has the sexiest border I've ever come to in my life. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was being interrogated. I felt like I was being flirted with. It was really sexy. And sir, what are you planning to do in Montreal? I'm planning to stay. That's what I'm doing. The French. The most romantic language in the world. I don't know why the accent is romantic as well, but it is. It's funny how every accent has its own connotation to it. You speak with a French accent, you are sexy. How are you, ladies? And then there's some accents just have no sex appeal to them at all. Like the Russian accent. There's nothing sexy about it. Everything the Russians say sounds dangerous and menacing. Doesn't matter what they say, because they've got that thing. Yes, I'm Russian, go to kill you, break you, destroy your family. Like, even if Russians say nice things, it still sounds dangerous. They still go, yes, fluffy rabbits and teddy bears.
Stephen Colbert.
So, are Bert and Ernie a gay couple, or are they simply 2 adult asexual men? with no outside relationships, living together to dull the pain of their loveless existence? In any case, it's 2018 and this whole argument feels a little dated. The question we should be asking is, are the Ninja Turtles a pansexual polyamorous quartet? Yeah.
Seth Meyers, I just love their delivery and
Sure.
how they just kind of put everything together and make, stuff that you would think is boring or complicated, like super easy to understand and hilarious.
DC Comics has put out a new issue titled Batman Damned #1 that appears to show Bruce Wayne's penis exposed. Well, I just have to say, I'm glad his parents aren't alive to see this.
That's the beauty of comedy is that, especially in certain types of comedy, a lot of current event, political stuff, things that obviously certain comedians want to kind of have a message behind.
Mm-hmm.
It is super cool that you can have certain guys that just have a way of explaining it where it's like, wow, it made me laugh, but also I thought, whoa.
I understood it now.
Yeah. Now that's kind of fucked up. I laughed, but I never knew about, the Sudan or whatever. Or,
yeah. I mean, maybe it wasn't the best way to get my news, but, I listened to a lot of Jon Stewart, and he would, explain what's going on.
Sure.
And you're just like, oh, my God. But then you're also laughing at the same time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's, the best way to get your news, but it is definitely entertaining.
It's it is a way to get your news.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of sad that, there's so much criticism on them. It's they're just trying to make a joke and, make light of the situation.
Yeah.
They're not trying to, convince you to think a certain way. They're just making a joke, and sometimes it goes one way or another.
And usually the joke is, isn't this fucked up?
Yeah, this is real life right now?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on?
Yeah, I think that's usually the joke is, we're just shining a light on this, how absurd this is, or this situation is really weird, right?
We're all gonna die. It's hilarious.
And everybody's like, yeah, it is weird. Let's see what else is on. Hey guys, it's Pitch Please again.
Pitch Please.
Your favorite segment with your favorite host with the most.
April Lotshaw.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, so this one, I've decided that I'm looking for a new name for it because Pitch Perfect stole my beautiful idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so this one will be entitled Pitch Me Baby One More Line.
I got it. I like it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not hard to get.
Oh, baby.
Exactly. That I should have thrown that on the end. Now I feel like an idiot. Okay, Daryl.
Yep.
As always, I'm trying to reach out past my artistic boundaries.
Yeah.
And explore the stories of our human existence.
Awesome. I love those types of movies. The deeper, the better.
No, that's what it's all going to be. So, specifically, this one, I decided I wanted to go into genre. Because that's a particular beast.
Yeah.
So, this is my pitch for my film noir.
Oh, okay.
Takes place in the 40s.
Got it.
Backdrop of stress, anxiety over World War II.
Mm-hmm.
We meet our titular hero, a detective.
Of course.
Hard-boiled, probably alcoholic.
Yep.
People out here, they don't even know the outside world exists. Might as well be living on the fucking moon. It's all one ghetto, man. Giant gutter in outer space.
He's
just came back from the war.
He didn't go to the war.
Oh,
he has a limp.
He was a dodger,
so,
yeah.
No, he has a medical condition. He couldn't go to the war.
Right.
His brother died in the war.
Oh, so that's why he's all bitter and hard.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
One of many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And
his wife left him too. She went into the war
probably.
as well.
That seems correct. That seems right. We can throw that in there.
Kid, I'm leaving you. Kid. Keys. Here are my keys.
Here's my American Express card. Here's my Bloomingdale's credit card.
Here's my checkbook. I've taken $2,000 out of our savings account because that's what I had in the bank when we first got married.
Was this some kind of joke?
Here's the cleaning, here's the laundry ticket. You can pick them both up on Saturday.
Point being, though, so we are following him because he's the only man who no one notices. He's on the outside but the inside at the same time, and he can get away with things that other people can't. He notices things other people don't, and so he takes up the job for the highest employer you can have, the U.S. government, to seek out who's secretly gay so that they can be jailed.
Okay, so
he has to go undercover.
So this guy's an anti-hero.
No, he's a hero.
Oh, okay.
This is a more daring film, I think, than has been made before, because it's like Django Unchained, but more shocking. Because the slaver is the hero. And by the slaver, I mean the man who's trying to jail the gays for being gay.
I like that premise, and maybe we can have kind of like a, like an American History X tone, where at the beginning, he's very unlikable, but then towards the end, the gays turn his ways.
We could go. No, oh my God.
He meets a few gay guys that are actually pretty cool, and he's like, why am I imprisoning these guys? Why am I telling the government that, where their
I love it.
naked baths are?
His loyalties are questioned.
You wonder ever you're a bad man?
No, I don't wonder, Morty. The world needs bad men. We keep the other bad men from the door.
No, that's brilliant. That's like that amazing film. It's the undercover dude.
Undercover brother?
Yes, that's what I was thinking of, definitely. That's it. No, but it's like that. So this is going to be, but that's the entire idea, is where's he going to go in the end? Tell you what, I know which way it is. It's the God-loving, put the homos in jail way. But we don't know, though, because he sees them as people now.
Right, so now,
it's really...
Does he incriminate his quote-unquote friends now?
And or quote-unquote lovers? Multiple?
Maybe. That's even a good...
Isn't it?
One of the gay guys turns him gay.
But, emotionally, he refuses to cross that physical boundary because to his mind that's wrong. But emotionally he's connecting in a way he hasn't connected before, not even with his bitch ex-wife.
We could have had a good life together, fucking real good life. Had us a place of our own. But you didn't want it, Ennis. You count the damn few times that we have been together in nearly 20 years, and you measure the short fucking leash you keep me on, and then you ask me about Mexico, and you tell me you kill me for needing something I don't hardly never get. You have no idea how bad it gets. And I'm not you. I can't make it on a couple of high-altitude bucks once or twice a year. You are too much for me, Ennis. Son of a horse bitch. I wish I knew how to quit you.
I feel like this is an Ang Lee type movie.
It is. It is.
Right off of Brokeback, he already knows how to film really touching gay movies. Why not give him this so he can take a second shot at what it really means to be, closeted gay in the 1940s.
You know who I was thinking for the lead? Mandy Patinkin.
Of course.
I'm thinking Patinkin.
Of course.
I'm thinking Patinkin.
He sounds amazing in this role.
He's my muse.
Yeah.
Can't you see him being gay?
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Yeah.
Of course. Or undercover gay. But is he gay? We don't even know at a certain point. We're going to go ahead and just go all the way with it. Do you want to hear my title I have for it?
Yes.
The Ball Tease Outcome.
I get it. I get it. Yes, it's a play on words,
and hardly that.
No, I like it. And who are maybe some of the supporting cast? Some of the gay guys that he's trying to book or whatever.
Oh man, some of the gay guys. Okay, well, first of all, let's get Tobey Maguire in there.
Oh, I like it.
Hey! I'm coming for you! I'm coming
coming for you!
I want that man's career to be involved with my, like, I see a great future for him.
Yeah, so not only is it like a gay love story, but it's also like multi-generational. So it's like, obviously Mandy Patinkin's a little older than...
But that's the thing, though, is that this is a forbidden thing.
Yeah.
So age differences are, it's so much riskier if you meet someone and you really connect with them in any real way. Age differences, things like that, they fall away.
Yes.
It's exploration of the human spirit.
I like it.
In my film, The Baltese Outcome.
And hopefully there's a MacGuffin
for your consideration. Oscar and Emmy. Thank you.
Hopefully there is a MacGuffin in this story, just like the Maltese Falcon.
It's fair. It's probably like stolen documents from the government or something.
Yeah, that's a good MacGuffin.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it's the stolen documents from the government from someone who was incriminated, and like it would make this detective's case.
Yes.
Like it would make his career to get these documents.
And everybody's looking for the documents. Tobey Maguire, Mandy Patinkin, everybody's looking for it.
It would incriminate gay men and women all the way to the top.
Yep. All the way to FDR.
Exactly. Yeah, that's hey, I didn't say it, but it will be heavily implied.
Some people think that he wore that blanket because he had polio. Nope, it's because he was hiding his boner.
Whenever all the spry young interns were in the room.
Yep, he had to hide it somehow. When all those,
when he's surrounded by men.
Tight pants sailors came in to, get their congressional medals.
Gosh, yes, he's shaking hands. He's touching, skin-to-skin contact.
Yep.
So good.
He was hiding his gayness under polio.
Right? Hey, new conspiracy theory. We just came up with it. I'll have to make a movie about that, probably.
Didn't have polio, he had gay.
Just as deadly.
Yep.
In the time period, it kind of was, but whatever.
I could see the smear or the propaganda movies don't catch it. It'll get you and make you want to suck men's dicks.
I can see those too. Because you just performed it for me, and I was like, yeah, that seems like what Daryl wants to do. No, okay. I'm ready to...
Next pitch? Man, I love it. That's also going to make some... I think that's going to hit the Oscar rounds.
No, that's why I was like, that's
an
award movie. This next one, I'm also thinking it's got to be Patinkin.
I want to get a T-shirt that says "I'm Thinkin Patinkin."
I want that more than life itself. Dear God. Okay, my next one. I have 2 more pitches for you. It's one film and one TV show. So,
okay,
film. It's going to be called Justice and Love. You know why? Because they're both blind.
Oh.
That's why. So...
What if it was called Blind Justice?
But then you don't get the love reference.
You bury the lead of them being blind.
They're not blind.
They're not. Okay.
Should have told you the title at the end, like I usually do. Anyhow, so this is going to be my lighthearted thing. This will be a rom-com, This will be a moneymaker. This will be a Valentine's Day release.
And since it's like a rom-com, obviously the
Patinkin.
Yes. The characters that you're playing or that are in the movie have to be, their last names have to be like Justice and Love or something like that.
Some shit like that. We'll figure it out.
I always love when the last name is part of the title of the movie.
No, that I will have to work that in. I do like that idea. I won't give you credit for it. I'll say I came up with it, but thank you. No, okay. You want to hear about this though? It's a divorce lawyer. It's the man. He's a divorce lawyer. He's jaded. Okay. He's seen it all, and he no
also
longer
divorced?
Believes in any shit. No, he never even got into love in the first place because soon as he started divorce lawyering, he's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Love isn't even
Marriage
real.
Is retarded.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Don't use that hate speech in my film script. Anyhow,
being
no.
wed is retarded.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. I just want to know that we're respecting minorities.
Right.
Okay, no. Okay. Divorce lawyer, over it all. Thinks he's better than that. And he starts working, like, as the attorney for a woman who's getting a divorce. And her job, she's a romance writer. Like, she writes the Bodice rippers. She writes the things that everyone says are stupid or are just over the top.
Like the stories that have Fabio on the cover.
Exactly. That's who she is.
I like it.
And she's getting a divorce. And so he is her divorce lawyer. And that's the thing, is they're in this situation, and throughout the process, he's a shoulder for her to cry on. And, like, she shows him, she'll say, like, maybe I elevate things in my books, or we make them over the top, but even if it seems crazy, those things can feel over the top just in a quiet way to the individual when you're feeling like she makes it make sense to him. She opens up his world to the idea that love exists, maybe just not in the way he thought, and maybe it requires you to take a risk that he was never willing to take.
I love that you get cold when it's 71 degrees out. I love that it takes you an hour and a half to order a sandwich. I love that you get a little crinkle above your nose when you're looking at me like I'm nuts. I love that after I spend a day with you, I can still smell your perfume on my clothes. And I love that you are the last person I want to talk to before I go to sleep at night. And it's not because I'm lonely, and it's not because it's New Year's Eve. I came here tonight because when you realize you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody, you want the rest of your life to start as soon as possible.
Can I throw out some suggestions too?
Hell yeah, you can.
I want to see some magic in this.
I want to see magic too.
So I'm thinking at some
Penn and Teller.
No, I'm talking about like literal magic, like rom-com magic.
No, that too. We can have both.
Where like somehow he gets hit in the head, or falls down an elevator shaft or something like that, and then when he comes to, he like starts to see his world like the novels that she writes. It's the world suddenly is all over the top and like melodramatic.
This is Dr. Franz Blau of the Sex Change Clinic in Bethesda, Maryland.
Thank you. Dr. Randall, after extensive investigation, I've come to the conclusion that it's virtually impossible for you to have impregnated your nurse, Montana Moorhead, because before she came to our little clinic, she was Milton Moorhead of Syosset, Long Island. Hello.
I love that idea. See, but that's the thing, though, is that it's...
And he's like, what the hell is going on here?
We would need to have it be, like, a good explanation, like, because there are the temporary physical things, like hit on the head or whatever, but I like the idea of... I like that idea. We just need to find the right setup where it's basically she's brought him out of his dark, gloomy, cold headspace of facts and whatnot into the headspace of her side of the human experience, which is acknowledging and understanding emotions and stopping to smell the roses.
What if he's
and
like,
helping old ladies across the street and then seeing their smile at the end of it, and that made your entire week, god damn it.
What if he's also like, like he's kind of...
Maybe he gets on antidepressants. Maybe that's what it is.
Like it's kind of like a Shallow Hal type of thing where he's schlubby.
Okay, yeah.
And then like when he gets, here's a good idea. He to better understand his client, he starts to read one of her novels.
No, that's going to happen. He's going to read one of the novels. Brilliant. This is why we're collaborators.
Lightning strikes him. So then like since he's holding the book.
Hey, if Wes Anderson can do it, we can too.
So he's in the bathtub, and maybe a hairdryer falls in it or something like that.
Yes.
So then he gets shocked, and the like essence of the book, changes him. And then obviously, since he's kind of schlubby and whatnot, like once the transformation hits, he looks in the mirror and he's all like, he looks like Fabio. He's all like fucking all hunky and shit.
I love
like,
this. I love this. Daryl, I think this is all leading up. Do you want to know? Because I have a grand climax planned. So end of the film.
Yeah.
Because I think everything you're saying is leading right up to it.
Yes.
I think we're in exactly the right spot to tackle this. Because the entire idea is that he's never felt like real love, and she has opened his eyes to the idea that maybe he hasn't been open to it, and he hasn't been willing to make himself vulnerable and take a real risk to actually try and find love. And that's like, it's not that love does or doesn't exist, it's that it's always a gamble.
Yeah.
And so finally, penultimately, when she is finally divorced officially, and they're, sharing a cigarette outside of the courthouse because they're both trying to quit, but they're like, it was a rough day. Hey, we'll each have half and all that.
Yeah,
he
that's
finally
like their
breaks.
thing that they do.
No, exactly. He finally breaks down. He says, "I love you, and I've come to know you so deeply through our lawyer and client kayaking trips, and our lawyer and client." Doing acid together in the desert.
Right, or like trip to the Alps or something.
All of those things.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, it's a difficult profession. Anyhow, and he finally asks her, like, I would like to take you out sometime. I would like to romantically pursue now that you're no longer a married woman. And she's not interested.
Right.
Because she's like, I just got divorced.
Of course.
I'm not really looking for a thing, which confirms his original beliefs about love, that it's a sham, and he dies a bitter, lonely old man who yells at his neighbors.
Get off my lawn now.
It's the end of the film.
That's interesting.
He's old Fabio now.
Right.
He still yells at his neighbors.
No, I like that idea. It's definitely more of a realistic approach. Hit him.
It's full of magic. How can that be realistic?
It was all magic up until this point, and then we hit him with a good dose of reality at the end.
It's still magic at the end because he's still Fabio. He's just old, angry Fabio who's alone. Because, other beautiful women flocked to him, but he was in love with that one woman, and she wouldn't have him, and it just confirmed everything he learned as a divorce lawyer.
And what if he...
And then he becomes an advocate for the death penalty.
Yeah.
And that's the rest of his career.
I like that idea. And also, what if she then writes a best-selling novel based on their story? Like, right afterwards. And then he sees it published, and then that just... makes him that much more angry too.
The knife in the back. Yep. I love it.
No, I do too. It's a good moral.
Okay, Daryl, we got one left to go.
All right.
We
The
have
TV
one
show, right?
left to go. Yes, this is a TV show. This is a reality TV show, and it's going to follow the cutthroat world of competitive gardening.
I'm going to be a total bitch. I'm going to get rid of who I have to get rid of, and I'm going to hurt people's feelings, and I'm going to laugh when people cry. And I'm going to own it.
So this is what I'm saying. There are neighborhoods. You have your neighbor, they have their peonies, you have your roses, and that being said, there's the interpersonal competition, but also there are competitions in reality about who grows the most perfect rose.
Oh, yeah.
Who, has the best home and garden, all of that crap. So we're combining it.
This kind of sounds like a Christopher Guest type movie, a mockumentary.
It's not a mockumentary. It's very real. It's very real. We follow the mothers and grandmothers and stay-at-home dads of various neighborhoods, and they compete to have the best garden and home appearance. And if they win, they get elected to the HOA, the Homeowners Association.
Nice.
That's their prize that they get. And they also get bragging rights over Mrs. Turner because we all know they're fake, right? Like, trip to the Bahamas, my ass. You think she's had work done on that ass as well?
What?
Like they get to have bragging rights over whatever annoying neighbor they have. Like it's
Right,
like you
right.
just bought a boat. Well, I have the best house on the block according to TLC.
Right, Better Homes and Gardens or something like that. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's gonna be just a
I'm-
competition, mainly old ladies, some wives,
Yeah.
some husbands.
Yeah.
But it's that interpersonal drama.
Cass, she said that, I'm being really mean to her. I don't think I'm being mean to her. I'm ignoring her. Maybe that's mean, but I think she's been, ignored and made fun of all her life, so she should be used to this.
Do you want to know the name?
Yeah.
Do you want to know the name of the show?
Yep.
Big Mother.
Okay.
And every season will be named after a different neighborhood. So it'll be season 1 will be
Right.
Big Mother, Boyle Heights.
Yeah.
And it'll be
Big Mother.
Bixby
Knolls. All that.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
I get
yes.
it.
And it's just we just get everyone in the neighborhood.
Big Mother.
To be on Big
Malibu.
Mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the point. That's what separates them from each other. But it's the actual real drama of people who are actual neighbors and have lived around each other before this point and will continue
Yeah.
to afterwards. Any young producers, any industry folks currently listening, I'm pretty sure that we could, as like a host for Big Mother, we could get Mandy Patinkin.
I'm sure.
Shoehorn
I'm
him
sure
in
he
there.
could get in.
I'm ready.
I bet he loves gardening too. I'm sure he has an amazing garden himself.
Okay, get off Broadway, get on my reality TV show that doesn't exist, Mandy. I love you.
Yeah, get off those big blockbuster movies and get onto this reality TV show.
That doesn't yet exist, but when it does, whoo boy,
Yeah.
you'll be glad.
It's a step up. We'll tell you that already.
Exactly.
Like, don't worry about your career. It's very safe.
You don't need to worry about money or anything anymore.
Nope.
You can only do passion projects from now on, Mandy, and I'm here to be a conduit for that.
Well, Mandy, if you are
I'm
listening,
thinking
which I'm sure you are.
Patinkin. I'm
Yeah.
thinking Patinkin.
Thinkin Patinkin.
That's my new catchphrase for all of life. I'm thinking Patinkin.
Yeah, and all of these movies / TV shows, he would be amazing in.
He would. They were either inspired by him or I made them with him in mind.
No, I
So,
get it. Yeah.
You know?
You have to do that. Like, sometimes, you need to create projects with certain people in mind. That's what makes
true.
the project better.
It's true. Daryl, what do you think of my pitches this week?
I love them all.
On
I think...
Pitch Me Baby, One More Line, Baby Baby.
Yeah. I feel like they're all winners. They're all going to be great.
What was your favorite one?
I want to say the first one.
You liked the first one? You liked
the gay episode, or
the
one
film
with,
noir one?
Yes,
the Baltese outcome.
I love that one. It's very, I don't want to say close to home, but it is something that I can see myself being very intrigued about.
Right, right.
Especially if it has Mandy Patinkin.
Obvious. It's gonna have Mandy Patinkin. I'm gonna pull a Sylvester Stallone, but it won't be like, I need to be the lead. It'll be like, Mandy needs to be the lead, and I will die on top of this script if he isn't. And they're like, no, we'll give you billions of dollars. Please, April, please. And I'll be like, no, I'm an artist. And then I'll continue to starve on the streets of L.A.
Yep. I love it. Well, guys, until next time, we're going to just have April starve until then.
Yep.
But this has been another Pitch Please, a.k.a. Pitch Me Baby, One More Line.
Baby, baby.
I do remember I was working at Lowe's one time,
Yeah.
and I was just mixing a paint can for this woman, and she was just like asking me questions like, "Oh, are you like studying Clemson?" Oh, yeah, I'm just finishing up my degree.
Mhm.
She's like, "Oh,"
and how old is this lady?
This lady's like 50. Let's say 50.
Okay.
Give or take 5 years.
Right.
She's like, oh, my daughter's in Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, oh, she's like a sophomore.
Nice.
She just got off a relationship, so she's a little like worried about dates. Needless to say, she was trying to set me up with her daughter.
I always love that the mom that's like the wingman for the daughters. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's.
I need to meet more of those moms.
Yeah, it's awesome in theory, but I knew like that daughter was just too embarrassed. I mean, she showed me a picture.
So she was there with the daughter, or
no, that she had a picture of her daughter on her phone.
And did you go like, yes, give me her number?
In my mind, I was like, yeah, she's cute. I'd take her out, but then I was also thinking, one, how am I going to like play it off as like it's okay if I got your number from your mom, you know? And then like also I'm about to graduate and move out of town, and you're still living there 3 years. Like, yeah, that's totally gonna work.
I have a feeling like she probably wouldn't have been that susceptible to her mom pimping her out.
Yeah, you know, you would think. I guess the mom would do it. The dad would never do something like that.
Of course, the dad's never gonna be like, I got this hot daughter. What's going on?
You seem like a cool dude.
Yeah. You got a job, obviously. I see you working here at Lowe's. So that's cool.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, totally living up to my potential, mixing up paint, knowing that all that time I spent taking calculus, that I used that to know like what 2 cans of $30 paint costs.
I remember having my mom try to set me up with a few of her like nursing coworkers, and you know, it was always this like at first like, hey, Daryl, you should hang out with this like coworker of mine. She's super cool, blah blah blah. And I'm thinking like my mom's already talked me up about it. Like she's already like hit her up and said like, yeah, my son's super cool. You should hang out. Here's what he looks like. You know, trying to like put in like the first steps.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it was like she was totally like, yeah, you should hit up her. And then I'm like thinking that she's already kind of knows me or knows of me. Like my mom's talked to her about me.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I'd hit her up and totally be like, yeah, my mom said that we should hang out sometime. And she's like, really? Because she's never talked to me about you at all. Or she's like, I don't know who you are. Like, what are you? Okay, so you know Deanne. So what?
Cue the sad sound effect.
Yeah, and then I would totally be like, thanks, Mom. Like, maybe you should actually talk to her and get her feeling about it, and then let me know, like, hey, this girl, you should hit up.
I mean, my mom, she and her coworkers, like her coworker would have a daughter that's like my age, and the moms would conspire to try and set us up.
Of course.
And my mom was
like an arranged marriage.
Yeah, it was an arranged date, and I was totally not for that.
Of course. And was the girl totally not for it either?
Gosh, I think there was one time like I had to message this girl because my mom just like handed me the phone and with her number on it, and I'm like, okay, I'll send a message just for you, Mom.
My mom says I should talk to you.
What is up?
My mom says I should talk to you too. Not much.
Hey, I'm just sending this message so it looks like I'm actually like texting you and like totally interested in making this happen, but I think we both know this is totally too weird.
Yeah, it is weird how like two parents could definitely be talking to themselves in a weird way of like, our kids should bone, shouldn't they?
Yeah. They never really like, I don't think they think that through.
No, they don't, but they should. They should be like, hey, if this works out, they're definitely going to be fucking in one of our cars later, right?
Yeah. Well, gosh, I mean, that's why you don't hear dads talking about it, because like, if a dad's talking about setting up his daughter, he knows it's going to go all the way around the bases eventually if it works out. And he doesn't want to think about that.
No. I'm sure they don't even want to think about like their son, plowing a bunch of chicks or whatever either, even though that could be a different thought.
I don't know. In a way, I would kind of be a proud dad if my son was doing that. It's like he's living a better life than I could have.
Do you think like your dad would ever like give you like kind of like a silent high five if he saw you bringing home like a really cute girl? He'd be like, yeah.
Oh, totally.
He's my son, guys, with the hot chick.
See, no, he would totally embarrass me and be like, he would just tell the girlfriend straight up, like, wow, he did a really good job. Mm-hmm. You're gorgeous.
Which is a weird thing to hear from a parent.
It is. I mean, I think anything is kind of weird when you hear it from your parent.
And I always like the parent that's automatically like, how'd he get so lucky? Whoa, what'd he do? It's like, thanks for talking me up, Dad. Like, what is he doing with you? And you're like, Dad,
How much money did he pay you?
Yeah. Shut up, Dad.
Just smile, wave, answer, or speak when you've spoken to.
Right. Stop questioning her motives. Maybe she just likes weird, dorky dudes.
Do not make her second guess this decision.
Yeah. Because maybe she hears that from your dad, and she's like, yeah, you're right. What am I doing with this dude? See ya. Thanks for telling him. Like, you would know him best. You're his dad.
Gosh. I remember I was set up with this girl by my friend, and because they were visiting Clemson for the Clemson South Carolina football game.
Sure.
And she was hanging out with her mom the whole time.
Yeah.
And they were like tailgating and drinking and all this stuff. And it was just weird. Like, you're trying to get to know this woman, but then you have to kind of take her away from her friend, but her friend is her own mother.
Yeah.
It's like,
See, that's why you need a guy like me who's at that age where I'd be definitely like, I'll hang out with the mom.
Yeah.
If the mom is definitely, still looking good, likes the party, it's like, hell yeah, you take the college co-ed, I'll hang out with the sexy MILF, and we can definitely still make this work.
Tag team.
Yeah.
Double trouble.
I mean, I'm totally into girls in their 30s. I guess that's
because you're in your 30s.
Yeah, exactly. And it's weird. It's weird when you like suddenly at a certain when you're young, you're like, you look at women that were your mom's age and stuff, your mom's parents or other parents, and you're like, yeah, I mean, I guess they were hot like at one time, but it's totally like 30 years ahead of you, so you're like, yeah, not into that.
I don't know if you ever done this where like your parents will show like pictures of like them or like their friends when they were your age, like young, and you look at them and go like, well, my dad did good.
Yeah.
Or
totally. And but then you get to that age now though, and then it is like, how did these women suddenly get a lot hotter?
What happened?
Yeah, like, why am I now into these older ladies more? It's like, oh, because you're old too, douche.
It's like you look at yourself in the mirror and you start thinking like, okay, this is what I look like. Now I gotta see, okay, what puzzle piece will fit perfectly with me.
Yeah, exactly. And guess what? It's not going to be that 21-year-old.
No, though we still look.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not gonna lie though, it'd be weird to hang out with an 18-year-old.
It's weird for me to hang out with someone who's not 21.
Right. Someone that couldn't drink would be weird.
Yeah, because like you go to a restaurant, you're like, I'll have a beer. Well, what will your friend have? Oh, she's gonna have a juice box,
a Capri Sun.
Yeah,
and put it in a sippy cup, please.
Oh, but add ice. Put it on the rocks.
Yeah. I'll have Caribbean Crush on ice.
I'll have a virgin screwdriver.
Yeah, totally. Waiter's like, what the? Okay, I'm gonna spit in your virgin screwdriver. I feel like also, it's just I have a younger sister that's roughly around the same age as you, and it's like she'll have like girlfriends and stuff hanging out, or like they'll be like, especially when they were in high school still, and I was like, in my late 20s or like just turning 30, and they'd be hanging out. And I would totally be like, yeah, they're cute, but that's weird. Like, weird. I don't want to, like, it just feels awkward to be around you guys.
Yeah. I mean, like, you can't even say, like, oh, like, I'm not attracted to her, or, like, I don't think she looks good.
No, that's the fact. It's because they do look good, you're like, I can't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're going back to, like, you're thinking like a young man again. And it's just like, I don't want to, bad decisions were made back then.
Yep. I need to control a better, like, this needs to be a better choice.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I mean, like, even like when my friend has like a girlfriend and like they ask like, oh, what do you think about her? You don't want to say like, oh, I think she's ugly, because they'll be like, oh, what? No, she's gorgeous. Screw you.
But you don't also want to be like, oh, she's fucking hot, man.
Like, man, you did good.
And those tits,
high five, bro. I totally hit that. Wait, what? Oh, no. I mean, I would totally sit away from that.
Yeah, there has to be like a happy medium, which is like,
I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's all right.
She's a good fit for you.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah, you went to the observatory?
Yes.
The Griffith Observatory?
Yes.
How was that?
It was a one big giant telescope.
Mm-hmm. Did you get to actually look in it?
No, unfortunately not. They had a lot of really cool displays about like the solar system and the universe and stuff like that.
They had some cool dioramas and sweet. Was it made out of paper mache or something plastic?
I think it was some plastic. I don't know. There were a lot of pretty colors.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, little shiny stars.
Yeah. Did you learn if your Mercury was in retrograde or not?
What?
That's like an astrology type of thing, you know. You haven't heard chicks talk about that? Like, I can't date you tonight. My Mercury's in retrograde.
Oh, no, I've been asked, like, what's your sign, you know? Like, what group I'm like, I think I'm a Taurus.
And then they tell you tell them your birthday, and then they automatically go, nah, you're this.
Yeah, or you're totally a Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
You're such a Scorpio. It's like, oh, my God. Okay, sure.
So you don't believe in any of that?
I mean, it's kind of weird. I had my roommate's girlfriend one time was like, looked at me and was like, oh, you're totally a Taurus. And then she like looked up like some profile that like explained what a Taurus is.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was kind of weird because it kind of explained my personality.
Right.
But it was just like, no.
But it could have probably described like, you know, my personality too.
Yeah, it's like how does the time that my parents get it on determine what kind of like personality am I going to have?
Right. Like, I was this far away from the sun. This star was over here, so that's going to make me angry towards women.
The planets were aligned, and so I became a goddess. And it's like, no.
Right. I'll be indecisive because this one star was over my left shoulder when I was having contractions.
I mean, maybe they'll say it's like some magnetic field, bozo crap or something like that. But.
Right. Well, if the moon can control the waves, why can't it control your feelings?
I mean, that is true. My feelings are like the tide. They go high and low.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, because I'm a delicate flower.
Yeah, the waves are bipolar, God damn it.
I mean, I think Mother Nature is bipolar, especially in the South.
It is.
Because it's like 1 minute it's like pouring rain and like miserable, and the next minute it's like super sunny and the clouds are gone.
Someone needs to get a chemical, you know, they need a reuptake. You know, they need some sort of, you know, Zoloft for Mother Nature or something like that.
Well, did you see the movie Geostorm, where like they control the weather?
Oh wow, was that what should have been called Zoloft for Mother Nature?
Probably. Maybe we'd have gotten a bigger hit at the box office. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it would have had a better sponsor.
Yeah. I mean, you don't mess with the Zolon, you don't mess with the Zoloft.
This summer, from the producers who brought you Zoloft and Prozac, comes Geostorm.
Da-da-da.
No, I get it. And that was with, what was his face? Liam Neeson?
No. It was Gerald Butler.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, and then Andy Garcia was our president.
Mm-hmm. I mean, did he ever yell out, "This is Mother Nature"?
Oh my God! If he totally did that, I didn't see the movie, but if he did that, I totally would have seen it.
I heard it was horrible.
I mean, it's kind of like interesting to think of like possibly controlling the weather,
and
it's like, you know, why don't we just make every Monday rain?
Yeah,
just because like Mondays already suck.
Yes.
So why don't we just know? Okay, it's gonna rain. It's gonna suck. But then you get through that, and it's like every Saturday is a sunny day.
That would be cool. They had that in Back to the Future too, where you know you could control the weather.
Exactly. And it was like, wait a minute, wait 20 minutes.
Bam.
Clouds are gone.
Yep.
Boom.
But nobody was always like, "What the fuck? You can't do that." Everybody was cool with it.
I mean, like that'd be the perfect scenario.
Yeah. In '89, when that movie was made, people were like, "Oh wow, I hope 20 years from now that does happen." But in 20 years, people were like, no, fuck with anything. In fact, we're doing too much as it is. We're making the Earth warmer.
Apparently, we are controlling the weather, just not the way we want it.
Yes, we know. We're controlling it with greenhouse gases instead.
Oh, but it's a conspiracy made by China. Remember that?
Of course. Everything comes from China.
Yep. Our toys, our lead paint.
Our world calamities.
And
everything.
And our Panda Express, now our weather.
Yeah. I'm totally for it. I mean, China makes the best things. Why not have them control the weather?
I mean, they have over 1 billion people there, so they must be doing something right.
They're using a lot of weather there. They got a lot of people using that weather.
I mean, they have cookies with fortune in them.
Oh yeah, I believe though that was an American thing.
Yeah, that probably makes a lot of sense.
It was us culturally appropriating their cookie industry.
like, your cookies are lame. We need to put stuff in it.
Yeah, we're going to make it better.
We'll call it a fortune cookie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I even think they were invented in California. It was like a Chinese restaurant or whatever that, started making them.
Hey guys, the internet here. According to Wikipedia, there are 2 competing Asian restaurants that have claimed to be the first to offer fortune cookies in their establishments, both in California. The first place is up in San Francisco called Golden Gate Park's Japanese Tea Garden, and the other down in LA called the Hong Kong Noodle Factory. Some historical society voted in favor of the Japanese Tea Garden, further illustrating that most things that look like it was made in China and bought in America really came from Japan.
I heard the French dip comes from California.
Yeah.
Like I heard a French band.
Philippe's. That's like the big one out here in LA.
Yeah, that's what it is. And there was like one night a French man walked into Philippe's and said, I want a sandwich with roast beef and then the juices from the roast beef.
Mm-hmm. On it, yeah.
On it. And
he's like, Sacre bleu. This is amazing.
Es una bonita.
Yeah. I feel like it is good. I've been to Philippe's a few times. It is tasty. And their mustard, oh my gosh. It'll burn your nose hairs. Like, that stuff is no joke.
It's like if you have like sinus pressure or if you just like have a cold and you can't breathe through your nose, just get that mustard.
Yeah. Because it's made with like wasabi or something else. Like, it's got something else besides just mustard seed in it.
Oh no. I mean, have you ever like had to take a huge chunk of wasabi and just eat it plain?
I have done it on accident, not like a dare or anything.
I had to do it on the dare one time.
How was that?
So amazing, like
I'd do it again.
You do not live until you take a handful of wasabi and just eat it.
Is the sushi good out there?
I mean, I would assume it's better here. I don't eat much sushi. I only eat it.
Just eat wasabi.
Yeah, only time I ate sushi was for a date.
You were dared to eat sushi and wasabi in the same time?
Yeah, I was like, look, I'm a tough guy. Let me watch this. And I ate a whole thing of wasabi.
Your date dared you to eat wasabi?
She's like, I don't consider a man serious until he takes a whole thing of wasabi.
Mm-hmm,
and I'm like, okay, B, let's try it.
Well, she knew that if you were willing to do that, you'd be willing to pretty much do anything.
I mean, that's like taking a bullet for her.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And did it impress her? Because girls get impressed by guys doing stupid feats of strength.
Yeah, I think she was impressed for about 5 seconds, and then when I had boogers coming out my nose, and I was like crying, at the end of
I'm fine.
At the end of the Notebook, you're just bawling out tears of sorrow. That she kind of shied away from it.
She was like, "That's awesome, but never call me again."
You're so amazing. I totally am not for you.
Yeah, I need to have you date anybody else besides me. I'm not worthy of your awesomeness.
I'm just so overwhelmed by your awesomeness. You're awesoming all over the place.
It could be wasabi coming out of your nose, but I'll call that awesomeness.
I've been known to prematurely awesome all over people. It's a condition, I swear.
Ew.
I mean, I can't stay up and watch this stuff, so I always watch clips in the morning. And
sure.
Sadly though, sometimes some comedians will make the same joke about a certain topic, and you're like, oh no,
yep,
I need original material.
Yep.
But I mean, sometimes the joke is just sitting there right in front of you.
Yeah, those are and to do it every day too. That's got to be crazy. And obviously they have a team of writers, but still, just having to come up with content every day.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people in that area say there's just so much news going on that it's too much for them to handle.
Yeah, there is too much.
It's like Trevor Noah's ain't nobody got time for that, and he just talks about a big headline that we would be spending weeks talking about for 5 seconds. But we don't have time to talk about that because there's also this going on.
Yep, it's true. It's so true that there's so much shit and it's as soon as you hear that one thing and you're outraged and you're like, yeah, what the fuck? We should do something about it. 2 seconds later, it's yeah, but did you hear about this other crazy thing that just happened? And you're like, no, but let's now focus on that.
I mean, as much as I would like to say, I mean, I'm a Democrat and living in the South. I'm a blue drop of paint in a red can.
Yeah, that's hard.
And
why can't everybody just turn purple? instead. Let's just mix red and blue together.
Why can't we be friends?
Yep.
Why can't we be friends?
Because they are different from us in some stupid ways.
Because they're devils.
Yep. In some arbitrary ways. But why can't we be friends?
Gosh.
I feel like, though, it's the same thing with down here in a way where there's, California being a predominantly Democratic state, but there are drops of Republicans around, especially in Orange County and, better parts of certain towns.
Gosh, it's always funny when, like...
I wouldn't say better in quotes. It's more like more money.
Well off. Well off. I don't know. It's kind of funny because, like, you'll hear people who are, like, live in the rural areas or, like, may not have the most amount of money and they'll be, like, super Republican. And then you hear the super rich people who are, like, super Republican. But then you hear, like, the middle class and, like, I'm a Democrat. I would love for, like, free healthcare. I can't afford this. I don't want to pay for college. It's too much for student loans.
Definitely.
So it's so weird for, like, people on opposite ends of the money spectrum to be having the same idea about stuff. Like, why is it that a farmer in Iowa can feel so connected to a billionaire from New York who's never had to drive a car in his life?
Right. I feel like it's certain guys want that freedom. They want that definitely, like, I don't want government in my pocket, or they're like, small government. And I feel like, but a lot of poor people, they don't want to change the taxes to help them while they're poor. They want to keep the taxes good for when they can be rich someday.
Yeah.
It's always this like, well, when I'm rich, I don't want it to be raping me, so I'm going to vote against it because, of course, I'm going to be rich someday.
30 years later, when I'm going to be rich,
yep,
I don't want taxes holding me back.
Yep.
So
I mean, yeah, people always kind of vote for, like, what they think their life is going to be like, someday down the road, instead of like, well, what's your life now like?
Mm-hmm. And the one thing I never really understood was, like, you hear a lot of people on the Republican side go, like, well, I don't want the federal government doing everything for me, leave it to the states. And then there's other people like, well, I don't want the government doing everything for me, like, let me just do it on my own. So it's like, do you want states to take care of everything for you? Do you want to do everything on your own? I mean...
Yeah, federalism is a big issue for anything. Like, any issue, it's like, well, who should take care of it? The feds or the states? And, of course, the states are always like, it's us. The feds are always like, yeah, but we're here for a reason, too.
I mean, are we the United States of America, or are we the United States of America? That is the question.
Right. And I remember taking a political science course about Supreme Court cases and whatever. And, every week we'd, like, read a different case. And the whole case would basically be based on, like, ultimately, like, should this have been a state issue or should this have been a federal issue?
I mean... I don't know. I understand, like, people always look at Europe and, like, oh, well, Europe has, like, free healthcare and education's great. Like, why don't we be like Europe? Well, I mean, Texas is bigger than, like, 90% of the countries in Europe.
Yeah.
So,
like, you have countries in Europe that are, like, the population of L.A.
Yeah. And
that's it. That's the whole country. So, of course, you could have that country have universal healthcare if you were like, hey, how about we just have L.A. have healthcare?
I'm down for that.
If we just had the city of L.A. have healthcare, is that doable? Like, of course, yeah, it would be doable.
That is the question. That is why I trust someone who hopefully is smarter than me in government that can do it. But
yeah, I mean, but unfortunately, like, that job in itself just lends itself to too much corruption. Like, there's too many things that you can just, oh, I'll do this for you because you gave me X amount of dollars, or you had this many people, in your constituency vote for me or whatever. Like, it's always this, like, tit for tat type of thing.
Everybody has a price.
And certain things can go, like, totally, like, out in the open, like, oh yeah, that's just what politicians do, like, that's just how it happens. But then there's also other things where it's like, yeah, but if they did this and this and this, suddenly it's illegal.
I know.
And it's like, yeah, it's all should be illegal.
I always love the fact that it's like, oh, well, it's an election year, so they're not going to be able to get anything done. Okay, so it's a 2-year term, and 1 year you can't do anything because you have to worry about, like, campaigning yourself.
Right.
Are you serious?
Right, and that's the only job, too, yeah, where you're, like, spending half your job trying to get your job again.
Yeah, like, I would actually have more respect for you if, like, you just did your job rather than you trying to convince me that you will do your job.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. Now go do it.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, figuring out how you're going to keep it.
It's like a government only works for, I don't know, once every 2 years, once every 3 years. Let's just make it like the Olympics.
Yeah, and And it's all these career politicians, too. It's like, there's no term limits. There's no, like, you did your 2 or 3 terms and then you just bowed out. No, it's like you just move on to a different position within the government.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, I'll go from, like, local districtman to, like, congressman to senator to governor.
I mean, it's like House of Cards. You just want power.
Yeah. And it's just so maddening.
I love democracy.
It's bullshit. Okay, let's move on to this last segment. I do this with all my guests, and it's not make fun of them. It's a little thing that I call Inside the Comics Studio, and I've stolen this from James Lipton, who stole it from Bernard Peebo, and it's just a kind of a just rapid-fire set of questions.
Let's do it.
First question. If you could make up a geometric shape, what would it be called?
Awesome sauce.
Awesome sauce, and what kind of shape would that be?
I'm gonna go with, like, it's sort of like a circle, but it has little points on the end.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like when you, like, splat applesauce on a plate in your cafeteria. It's just like little points at the end. But then
Right.
it slowly goops up to a circle. So instead of like applesauce, it's awesome sauce.
Oh, I get it. Okay, so yeah, when you see like a splat, it's no longer like just a random shape of nothing. It's an awesome sauce shape.
Yeah, I mean, think about like the Nickelodeon logo. It's a splat, but it's a particular type of splat.
So it's an awesome sauce splat.
It's an awesome sauce splat.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, next question. What is your favorite joke that never gets a laugh?
Okay, so it's like a story where you have these 3 people who are stranded on a deserted island, like coming off of surviving a plane crash or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like this indigenous tribe that like no one's discovered, and the tribe people tell them to pick up 10 items of the same fruit. And so like the first guy comes in, he brings 10 apples or whatever, and the tribe like has this weird tradition where the person has to shove each item of fruit up his butt without making a sound.
Nice.
And if he does make a sound, then they kill him.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets to about 4 apples or whatever, and then he screams in pain, and they murder him. The second guy comes in with grapes, a lot smaller, and they do the same test for him. He gets through 9 grapes, and he's about to put the 10th in, and then he bursts out in laughter, and they kill him. So then up in heaven, like the guy with the apples asks the guy with the grapes, "Yo, dude, you were so close. What happened, man?" He goes, I saw the 3rd guy with pineapples."
That joke could get a laugh.
It could get a laugh.
It's definitely, a street joke, not necessarily a joke that you would say on stage.
Yeah. I would say, like, I guess the one joke that would never get a laugh is my dating life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a joke I like to tell.
Nope. That's a very sad story. Okay, next question. If hell exists, what would you like to hear Satan say to you?
Surprise! You thought you were getting into heaven, didn't you? With like the SpongeBob look, that little SpongeBob meme.
Yeah, that would be very upsetting, very depressing.
It'd be really funny. Like you saw like all this clouds and like a golden gate, and like you open up the gate, and it's kind of like as you open up the gate more and more, it just gets like more and more fire comes around and it gets redder and redder, and then you close the gate and it goes back to being the clouds.
Yes.
And he's like, wait a second, this is a trap.
Yep. I don't know if I want to open these gates anymore.
Can I go back?
Yeah. Can I just try life again? I swear it'll be awesome. Awesome sauce, even.
Yes. I know what I'm doing this time.
Okay, next question. What sexual position will you never try again?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just use this from my position of being too tall, and the bed maybe a little too low.
Yeah.
And it's she lies on the bed, and then I just stand up and do her. I have to crouch down, and
it's like a weird missionary thing.
It's really hard on the legs.
So no more standing.
No more standing. Yeah. I prefer either we're both on the bed or
Got it.
She does. I mean, it's always nice when she does the work. I'll give you that.
Yeah, when she's doing most of the work, that's even better. I'll agree to that.
I mean, the lazy life is sometimes the better life.
Okay, next question. What profession would you like to see abolished?
Oh man, profession I'd like to see abolished.
Not like let's kill some people, but it's suddenly tomorrow, no more of this.
Oh my!
This job just doesn't exist anymore.
This job, oh man. Oh, I'll say golf course marshal.
Golf course? What does the golf course marshal do?
They're just like the guy in the golf cart with like the red hat that just drives around and makes sure like people aren't like abusing the course or whatever. I guess the only reason I'll do that, and this is why I don't go golfing anymore, I was scarred at a young age. My dad took me golfing one time with his work buddy, and they just like, me being 7, they just gave me a little club and had me whacking away at the ball.
Right.
And one of the golf marshals just like pulled up from like probably 400 yards away and stopped and like yelled at me like, "Get that kid off the course! He should not be doing that!" And I was just like, but I just want to putt. And they put me in the golf cart and like for the rest of the day, and I couldn't even drive the golf cart. I had to sit in the passenger seat the whole time.
Yeah.
And just watch my dad golf.
That's awesome.
And he wasn't even that good. That was the sad part.
Yeah, well, it's not like you were like son to Tiger Woods or anything.
No, unfortunately.
Yeah. I feel like, it's a weird thing to have, like, that certain clubs, obviously, like, that game kind of breeds, like, a certain amount of, like, ageism.
Yeah.
Where you have to be, like, a certain age to play this. Maybe not so much now, but I could see that, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, for sure.
I mean, Tiger Woods was a prodigy.
Yeah.
How'd you know I was not a prodigy?
Right. He was stifling your drive, and literally.
He stunted my golf career.
Yeah.
I could be like Roy McIlroy or Jordan Spieth right now.
You should find that guy and sue his ass for mental anguish and, losing your careerhood.
You ruined my life.
Okay, next question. What celebrity would you like to be mistaken for?
I'm going to go with I'll admit, like, my man crush, like Ryan Gosling.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a really cool dude. My dad has been mistaken for Pierce Bronson one time.
I could see that a little.
Yeah, we were at a restaurant one time, and like the waitress thought he was Pierce Bronson, and my dad just like felt like starry-eyed at the time. He felt so good about himself.
Because you're in like South Carolina.
Yeah, it was.
And he didn't have a British accent.
No. He can't even do a British accent. I don't think I want to hear him try. But yeah, I'll go with Ryan Gosling.
She's like, "Are you Remington Steele?" Or wait, you're that one GoldenEye guy.
You're Sean Connery.
Yeah, you're 007, right?
I love your role in Celebrity Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm. You in Mrs. Doubtfire was amazing. I loved it when Robin Williams hit you with that fruit, and then she said, "It's run by fruiting." I love that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I would go with Ryan Gosling just because like he's that beautiful face, but he's always that shy, quiet man.
Right.
And you just like the woman just kind of like does all the thinking and imagining for him.
Like if you were the life of the party, people wouldn't probably think you were Ryan Gosling, but if you were that guy that's just sitting in the corner drinking, your Moscow Mule out of like, a copper cup that you crafted earlier that day.
Yeah, and you have your pinky up because you're super fancy with like a little ring on there.
Then people would be like, "Is that Ryan Gosling?"
I think that's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh my gosh, that's Ryan Gosling.
What is he doing here in the Clemson bar?
What? Well,
He's probably researching a role.
There was a time in Greenville where Aaron Rodgers was at one of our popular bars.
Nice.
And my neighbor, who's like a big Packers fan, he like saw him and he's like, "High five, man!"
Mm-hmm.
He just like had no idea what to do.
Yeah. Was he from Clemson? Did he go to?
No, he went to Cal.
Okay.
And I think he's from like San Francisco area.
Interesting.
But he was in Greenville.
Weird. Football players can go anywhere, I guess.
See, Greenville is a cool enough town for people to visit.
It's true.
We had Aaron Rodgers in our place.
One time.
That one time.
Okay, next question. What is your best impression?
Oh, man. I think this is kind of sad. A lot of my friends were cracking up when I was doing a Jerry Sandusky impression.
Nice.
Back when the kids were being like shown or discovered as like, getting arrested, and I was just like, "You don't know what you're talking about. I was so kind to those kids." I don't even know if like that's his like voice or something. I never heard him speak. It's like, "I'm just a football coach. I don't do stuff with that kids."
No, I'm sure he sounds just like that. That's probably what tipped them off. They're like, "Man, that guy kind of sounds weird."
He's a football coach?
Yeah, let's find out if he's touching kids.
What shit was Joe Paterno smoking to want to have him on his team?
Wouldn't that be the weird thing about like all pedophiles is they all talk like, "What are you talking about? I've never touched a kid."
Hey, would you like a butterscotch candy? I guess I got plenty of those in my place.
And you're like, okay, as soon as you hear a dude talk like that, you're like, "Come with me, sir."
It's like a retired radio DJ. It's like, "Come on down to my white van."
Yeah.
We got all sorts of goodies in here.
Mm-hmm. You're caller 5. I hope you're under 5.
Oh God, no. No. Oh gosh.
Yeah. No, I like that. No, I think that's definitely a good Sandusky.
Thank you.
Okay, next question. Can you make a fart noise? And if so,
I mean, I would assume you want me to do it.
Please do it. Yes.
I
don't know.
No.
That wasn't. I don't know if that came from my ass.
I mean, I don't know. That's like when I eat Taco Bell for like 3 days straight, and then you don't poop for 3 days straight.
Right.
And it's just like a leaky, like super soaker full of shit coming out.
So it's more like
that.
That's more like a horse. Yeah, I've never had my ass sound like a horse, but it could.
I mean, I've had my throat sound a little hoarse, but not my ass.
Right.
That's a real problem.
You're just lucky, I guess.
Contact your doctor if your ass is smelling like a horse. It sounds like a horse.
Eats like a horse, sounds like a horse. If it does anything that resembles a horse, call your doctor.
Yes. If you have horse teeth, call your doctor.
Okay, next question. If you were to create a podcast, what would it be called?
I mean, you remember that SNL bit, the super fans with the Chicago Bears?
Yeah.
Da Bears.
Da Bears.
I would do something like that.
Super fans?
It's like AC super fan.
Nice. Yeah, I like that. AC super fans.
I mean, because like all my friends, we just talk about sports all the time and debate like who's the greatest player. You know, really important questions.
Would you do it in like Chicago accents?
I mean, I would probably do like a California accent, just being from California. It's like, yo, dude, bro, no. LeBron is totally not the greatest player ever.
Yeah, are you happy that he's coming to LA?
I am. It's really funny because all my friends like were LeBron fans and hated Kobe and hated the Lakers, and me being a Kobe guy, hated LeBron. It's
right, natural.
It's kind of like that family that gets, or those two families that get married together, and so now they have to like coincide and get over their differences. Kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story.
Yeah,
you know, it's a romantic story about one king and one, heavenly palace.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hopefully not end in like both two people dying or something.
Oh yeah, that's right.
LeBron gets slipped some poison.
Oh no, we don't want to do that.
No, we don't. But last question. When was the last time you were kissed?
Last time I was kissed? It wasn't by my mom before I left.
Yeah. Hopefully this was in a romantic setting.
Yeah. I met this girl on Tinder, like a typical millennial at a bar.
Yeah.
And we had a good time that night. I'll say that. I don't kiss and tell.
Right.
Even though you're asking me to
kiss and or tell.
Kiss and or tell.
But it was good times nonetheless.
It was good times. I had a few Moscow mules.
Yeah.
Got me ready to go for the big moment.
She mistook you for Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I put on my boyish charms.
Yeah.
I saved jazz like he did in La La Land.
Mm-hmm.
Played something on the piano, and
that's tight.
Yeah, and then we did that like dance by underneath the.
She didn't even recognize that it was a player piano. Like, wow, he's pretty good at this.
He's moving his fingers all over the keys.
Doesn't even look like he's touching them.
It looks like it's playing itself. Wow.
He must be that good.
The miracles of alcohol.
Yep. Nah, that sounds like a fun time. Yeah, like Tinder is definitely a good way to meet some girls that like to kiss.
Yeah, it's weird these days because like, if you're working and you're constantly busy or you're new in the area and you don't have many friends to go out with, you rely on that to meet people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was an interesting time. It was not too long ago, but a ways ago, and I don't know, maybe it'll come around again sometime soon. Who knows?
So, do you would you say that there's like a lot of funny people in mechanical engineering?
There's it's really funny because like I always like to think the mechanical engineers are the normal engineers.
Mm-hmm.
You have like the computer engineers and like the electrical engineers who are just complete nerds.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of the other engineers.
Yeah, he said it.
I said it. Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's ME, mechanical engineering. It's all about me. That's the way I look at it. If you're an industrial engineer, I'm sorry, you are an imaginary engineer.
Yeah.
That is what we said about you behind your back. But yeah, no, we have.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah, come at me, man. I got my machines. I could totally fend myself off.
Yeah. What are you gonna use? Blueprints?
Yeah, you're just gonna like tell someone to like put this machine in another place to make it go faster. Ooh, real scary.
Whoa. Big time.
We had a few cast of characters. I was generally that guy who was.
I want to say Alonzo Bowden, the stand-up comedian. He was a mechanical engineer. He was like he worked on like helicopters or airplanes or something like that.
Total badass.
Yeah, and then he was like building some sort of aircraft for 11 or 12 years, and then decided to be a stand-up after that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's times it can be really boring. I just work in a cubicle all day,
right,
designing stuff. But we have a fair share of comedians. I was always known as the class clown everywhere.
Sure.
Maybe that's why I had to retake a few classes in college. I don't know. I just thought the teachers hated me.
Yeah, they definitely did. But also, you were a horrible student too.
Thanks for telling me that, Daryl. I thought
They told me to tell you that.
Oh, was that my dad telling you that?
Mm-hmm. They all hit me up and was like, "Hey, by the way, you're going to do a podcast with him. Make sure you say all this stuff.
Do not believe the garbage he will tell you."
Mm-mm. And make sure everybody knows about it too. They all have to know.
Oh gosh, this is not a reunion tour. This is my shame tour.
All right, guys, I guess that's about it. We're going to wrap this up, but I want to thank, again, my cousin, Austin Chaney, for coming on in.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Usually we try to promote, comedians that I normally have on this, so I don't know if you want to promote yourself or if you just want to...
I'm just going to say go out to your local stand-up and open mic theaters. Support my cousin Daryl. He's a real funny man.
There you go. Thank you. And, go out, guys. If you're in the area and you want to see some good people that are telling jokes that you don't know, hit up your local open mic.
If you want to see a funny man who also somehow looks funny,
yeah,
visit my cousin Daryl. He'll give you a good time.
Yeah, if you're in the OC or LA area, definitely go by an open mic. Chances are you're going to be seeing my face there. But until then, guys, peace out. And of course, you've always been listening to...